My mission was 9 miles by 9 miles big. So it's very, very small. They say that it's the smallest mission outside of Temple Square, but I've had other friends tell me that their missions were smaller. I don't know. They like to argue that they're the smallest mission in the world or not. But it's a very small mission. However, it's populated like New York. I mean, it is filled with people. Filled with people. My sectors, or the areas of that my companion and I were in charge of, would only be probably sometimes 10 blocks by like 4 or 5 blocks big. It was very, very small sectors that we would have. However, we'd walk up and down those sectors and you'd meet new people every day because it's just filled with people. So I guess that's a little bit of what Peru is like there. And the other thing is that it's so populated, there's no place to keep building. And so what they do is once they have everything, all the land covered with homes, then they just start building on top of their homes. They build another level, another level, another level, another level, and it's just filled with just tons and tons of homes, and there's more and more people, and I feel like it just gets bigger and bigger every day. But it's awesome. It's a very, very city-like feel. Obviously in that type of a culture, the culture is very different than what a city like is up here, but it's filled with people. The church is well established there. There's a lot of members out there, which is wonderful. There's a lot of well-established wards. A lot of people typically will have heard of or know a Mormon. And so typically, if you're not Catholic down there, then you are I have to think of it in English, Jehovah's Witness, or an evangelist, or an Adventist, or a Mormon. And so that's or maybe you're an atheist, but those are pretty far and few in between to find sometimes, because there's just such a culturally based belief in God down there, and it's just beautiful. Anyway, so the church is very well established down there. Most people know who the Mormons are. And just most of them just don't know much about it or have ever tried or experienced it. I'm sorry, I don't really know a lot of facts or numbers about the church. I don't know how many people or how many churches. I know that the first stake was in Lima Tambo, and that was really cool because it was inside my mission, so we got to go there, and they talk all the time about it was the first church and the first stake there. I could be wrong. I don't. Nobody fact me, but that's what I was told. And so, but it was wonderful. I loved it. The temple was really close to us. It wasn't in our mission. It was barely outside of our mission. I believe it's Lima East, in La Molina is what it's called. But it's just barely off the boundary. So we had the blessing to actually go to the temple very often throughout our mission. And we had the blessing to take converts to the temple because it was so close to us. It was typically within anywhere between 20 minutes to an hour, or sometimes an hour and a half, depending on traffic, away from us. That's another thing. It's 9 miles big, but it takes 2 hours to get from one end to the other. Yes, because of traffic. Can you imagine that? It's crazy. I don't think I ever went above 45 miles an hour the entire time because there was so much traffic. It's crazy. Anyways, that's a little bit about Lima. There's actually 5 missions inside of Lima alone. All of Lima is it takes probably about 3 to 5 hours. You can't quote me on it, but it's really huge. I would say it's probably from Salt Lake to Cedar City big. It's really, really big, that city. And so it's kind of different, I guess you could say, the geographics of it. However, I mean, just my mission alone is just the dead center right next to the coast. And so it's just super, super small. So anyways,